right, this is a New York sports story. Episode 6, April showers bring MLB in the snow and cold. I am Chaz. And you
Brando.
are? Brando. Oh, now he's switching it up.
Brando Frost.
Okay, so a New York sports story with Chaz and Brandon. We have breaking news. I wish I had breaking news. Yeah. Anyway, Nuggets. Denver Nuggets fire Michael Malone and Calvin Booth next for Denver's playoffs and Jokic's future. So got an article here from The Athletic. Nuggets fire Michael Malone, GM Calvin Booth in pre-playoff shakeup. They did it on Tuesday. Assistant coach David Adelman will take over as interim coach. No other members of the coaching staff or front end office were fired. This sounds very personal. I don't know about you. The Nuggets are fourth in the Western Conference.
Really
like the Nuggets are fourth in the Western Conference, and they would match up against the Kings, but they lost their last four. So maybe I'm curious, is something in their last 4 games actually bring this along? Did Jokic say something? Was this a Jokic thing to say, I'm done with this coach? You're more into the NBA. You tell me, Brandon. What do you think?
Well, Joker's been consistent. Joker's averaging 30 and 10 and 10 on a regular night. So
yeah,
if Mike Malone is out of there, he definitely played a part in it. There's no way that I can sit here and believe that he didn't have a say in whether he goes. And as far as the GM going as well, Calvin Booth, that just goes to show you that at this point in time, it doesn't even matter if you're in the playoffs. Or if there's no chemistry, if the coach loses the locker room and there's talented guys that need to be playing and the GM wants one thing and the owner wants one thing. We see it all the time with the Giants. We see it every single year. So
yeah. Well, it's funny too,
when the ship
has sailed, yeah. I was gonna reference this later, but this kind of is appropriate too. So I'm watching this documentary called Celtic City. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. Celtic City? Does this ring a bell?
I'll browse through it, but I haven't really sat and watched it. Yeah, definitely.
Long story short, my history goes back to the Knicks in 1985 when they drafted Patrick Ewing. That's when I became a Knicks fan. So I know a little bit about history from that point on, but anything before that is a little bit, I want to say I'm naive to. So watching this, Celtic City, and it references a lot from the beginning, the 2024 team that won. But it does creep back into the very beginning of the Celtics time with Bill Russell and all those guys prior to Bill Russell. How white that team was before Bill Russell came onto that team. And I'm not saying that the coach I'm on episode like 5 or 6 now. Right. So the coaching thing that I'm referencing is Bill Fitch. When he was in the early 80s coaching Bird and McHale, and in year 4 or 5, something didn't click. And even though they weren't that bad, Fitch had to go. I remember Fitch being the New Jersey Nets coach back in the day. So I'm correct. Right. He went from the Celtics to the Nets. So, I mean, it's 2025 now. I get coaching a line a little different. But, you'd think that they be somewhat the same. It's got to be a culture thing, in my opinion, too, like you said.
Yeah. And so, like you alluded to, it's pretty much a culture thing. They're fourth place in the Western Conference. They're going to the playoffs. Yep. They got Joker. Murray's a little shaken up. They have the same, if not, I'd say a little small drop off as far as the championship caliber that they were.
Are they the Knicks?
A couple of people are gone, but they still have what it takes to.
Are they the Knicks of the West?
You said what?
Are they the Knicks of the West?
No, I don't think so. They could be. Oh, I thought you said, are they going to make it? Nah. Yeah,
no.
You
figure because I talked about the Knicks before. I don't see them making it past Boston or Cleveland. I'd love to see it, but I just don't see it. I'm not sure. Right. I don't see Denver with this not camaraderie at all. Making it past the second round as well. Right. There's too many good teams in that West that are legit teams that will just take out the Joker.
I agree.
So, and I was going to talk about NBA later too, because I printed out the standings too. So we'll talk more about that later. All right. So
okay.
The big news for the weekend, and it goes to our boy here. We have an NCAA men's college basketball champion, and it's Brandon's Florida Gators, who won 65-63.
Oh, yeah.
The last 2 minutes were epic.
The swamp.
Yeah. See, it kills me. I had Houston in one of my pools. I had it from the get-go. I tell you, if the ball bounces another way, I'm the happiest guy here, and I have $190.
Yeah.
Now what's funny?
Yeah.
I won another pool I was in because nobody had Florida in that pool, but because I had Houston, I got first and I got third. So I got a couple bucks there too. So
nice. Nice.
But yeah, I mean Florida. You talk about. I think
a couple bucks on DraftKings.
Yeah, I only saw the highlights. You saw the game, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was that last 2 minutes like, man? That was crazy. That was insane. Like, just the back and forth. I mean,
okay, so I had to turn it off because I have. Matter of fact, it's still sitting right here. I took my heartbeat, and it was over 100, and I'm like, why is my heart beating like this?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And I had money. I had money on Florida to win it, and then I had the under was 65 and a half.
Okay.
And with 49 seconds left, I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. I'm like, it's over. I lost the money, whatever. And then I turned it back on. Matter of fact, I got the message through my phone. It was 65-63, and as I'm turning it back to the channel, they're showing it was that was crazy. That was a crazy sequence. It was insane.
So here's an email, one of the many emails I get from all these sports things. So it said last night, the title game was everything a fan should want to be, a tightly contested game between two basketball teams that came down to the final possession. A game that was meant to be watched standing up, pacing in front of your TV. You couldn't even do that.
I tried.
And yet
I tried. I'm like, I was borderline like, should I call a doctor right now? I'm like, this game is stressing me out. I can't.
That's funny. So this author could not stop thinking of the brutal juxtaposition in sports as a buzzer rang. Florida players sprinting towards each other in jubilation, celebrating a title that was uncertain mere seconds before, while Houston players wept on the floor, mourning the loss of the championship that felt certain in minutes prior. That's written very well. I know that I couldn't write anything but better than that. That's written very well. But yeah, 65-63. I'm looking back. I printed out the years past for the men. Some reason I didn't get the last couple of years. I got as early as 2022. Kansas beating North Carolina by 3. Baylor in 21 beating Gonzaga by 16, so that wasn't a game. In 2020, it was canceled due to COVID. Virginia beat Texas Tech in overtime, so obviously that in 2019 that was a pretty damn good game. Jay Wright's swan song, Villanova beating Michigan in 18. And it looks like Roy Williams' last win in 17, beating Gonzaga. So Gonzaga went twice to the final two. Wow. Okay, Gonzaga went twice and lost. That's that. I mean, one of these days they're going to be in that. They're going to be a winner. I just don't. I mean, these kids know Gonzaga's a good team.
Right.
And let's see. Last time Duke won. See, now, did Duke win in the last 3 years? I don't think they did. Did they? It's like I said, I don't have 23 and 24. Who won 23 and 24?
Didn't they win with Tatum?
Oh, well, then that's probably
they
this
won
one.
With Zion.
2015.
I know they won with Zion.
2015. He was drafted 2016, right? Tatum?
Yeah.
Tatum was drafted 2016. I'm watching the Celtics thing. They keep talking about him getting drafted. So, yeah.
Right.
Duke, it was Krzyzewski's last win against Wisconsin in 2015. Before that, Duke won in 2010 against Butler. Before that, 9 years before that, Duke in 2001 against Arizona. So, I mean,
it's been a while.
Yeah, Duke hasn't won now. No, there's not a lot of similar winners. Kansas, Duke, and
Kentucky,
North Carolina.
Does Kentucky have one or two?
Kentucky has 3 in the last 30 years.
Oh,
Kentucky, 1996, 2012. I saw another one. Hold on.
2012.
96 and 98. So they were 2 different coaches, too. You had Rick Pitino in 96. You had Tubby Smith in 98. And you don't want to 96. You don't want to know that one. That was the one they beat Syracuse.
Yeah, I know.
In East Rutherford, no less. 1996.
Damn.
I was just finishing my years in college. I was still I was 2 years out of high school then. 96. Wow, 94. I graduated 94. I graduated 94.
Kirby Dardar played.
On what team? 96? Oh, Kentucky? Possible. Oh, you're talking about
Kirby Dardar
Syracuse.
Played for Syracuse Orange.
Syracuse.
He was he was a running back there, as a matter of fact.
Got it.
He ended up playing for the Dolphins and then the XFL.
Here's an interesting fact that we might want to think going down the road, although Duke is a different team now. Duke hasn't lost a Final 2 since 1994. That's very interesting. Duke lost to Nolan Richardson's Arkansas team, Arkansas Razorbacks, in 1994.
Mm.
And you know where they lost? Very intriguing. They lost in Charlotte. They lost a home game, a national championship home game. Yeah. With Krzyzewski on the team. Remember, you know who? That's true. You know who they lost though. Remember, see, I remember because I couldn't stand it. The guys. Leitner was on that 92 team that remember they left in 93, and who's the coach now? That his brother Danny. They were St. Anthony's boys. They were really screwed. It was Danny Hurley, Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley was on that early, or like 91, 92. I think in 93 he was done. So he wasn't on that 94 team. So they who knows? I don't remember who they had in 94. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. And who won the women? Did we talk about the women last week? I don't think we did. The women, that was UConn. Yes, congratulations to the UConn women. That's impressive.
They balled out. They murdered South Carolina.
Number 2 seed. Beat 3-1. Did I hear that right? They beat 3-1. That's impressive. So good for the Gino.
Beckner's
yeah, she's good. And Gino won his 12th now. So if he's not a Hall of Famer, I don't know who is. So
right.
Right. But yeah,
but they were supposed to get it last year and they had injuries. They were fully healthy this year. I knew they were going to take it. I had a feeling they were going to take it.
Yeah. So it's okay. I think that we're good on the college. It's only one game. This was very big. We talked about this last week. He finally did it on Sunday. Alex Ovechkin passes the great one, coincidentally, in the same amount of games as Gretzky. Go figure. Yeah. I think it was 1467 or something like that. Like it's an amazing number that he got his passing number of 895 on the same game that Gretzky got 894. That's amazing. So the slide on the ice was funny. You know, it truly is amazing how old that man is. Like he looks it. Like you know, some guys get old, and he definitely looks like he got old. So, yeah. But you know, it's just absolutely insane. But you know, congratulations to Ovechkin. Unfortunately, they're not. I don't think they're making the playoffs. I saw their
wasn't there standings. First in their
Are they first? No. I don't think so.
Fourth? Maybe they're fourth. I thought they were first at one point.
Let me go to I thought I had it here. It's probably behind. I tried to put this in order before at work. That's my kids' sports games.
Immediately after everything was over, and I checked DraftKings, and I had won more money, and then I checked my heart rate again. It was back down to like 80.
That's good. Well, we'll get to the standings down a little bit. I know I have them. I printed them out this morning. Okay, I think we need to talk a little bit of baseball now. And I was hoping that today would be a better game. I really did.
Oh, terrible.
Yankees are up and down, pitching not as solid, and the hitters in the lineup are funking it up. Well, I don't think it's the hitters as much as giving up back-to-back-to-back home runs by Cookie. Am I wrong?
Nah, you're not wrong. Not at all.
I saw that. I had that on at work. I had that on Gotham Sports at work. I'm doing my stuff on the computer, and I hear it, and I'm like, no. I'm like, come on. And my coworker who lives by Yankee Stadium, he's like, what happened? He goes, home run. Cookie gave up another one.
Jeez. I got so mad I fell asleep.
See, I figured it would be a tough game for us to hit. Skeens is no joke. He now go the last two games he's lost. Dodgers hit him, and who did Michael K say they played last? Reds or somebody, and whoever they played last, they hit him. He was 0-2 going into this game, but he figured it out. Like, you know, someone bet that he was gonna. I don't know how many strikeouts he had, but you know, it was at least 4 or 5 minimum.
He had. I know he got rid of 16 at bats when I started watching the 6th inning. So
yikes, not good.
Bad.
Yeah, so, I mean, the hitting's not great either. Let's be real. Like Ben Rice is hitting when in the DH role.
And that's what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Goldschmidt's not doing much like he should be.
A lot better this year.
Volpe's up and down, but mean, he's still batting in the 280s or up. He might be over 300. Grisham, he's been the big shock. Like, he's got more home runs in the last week than anybody's ever expected. He's hitting well. He's really accepting this fourth role. And you know who's not accepting the role of being out in center field is Cody Bellinger. Like, Belly's not doing well hitting either. So, yeah, and then, I mean, Dominguez isn't bad, but they got to stop. They got to start leaving him. We talked about this last time.
Right.
You know, so that's it. They're not. They're running into a good team. Detroit's a good team. They got good players. And hell, they're doing this without Sanchez, not Sanchez, Torres. Glaber.
Right.
Glaber's hurt.
Glaber was on the bench.
Yeah, so I mean they're doing it without that, and you know, good for them.
I'm gonna chalk it up. I'm gonna chalk it up to the snow. When's the last time you seen a baseball game in snow?
You know what? I don't think I have this. Do I have it written here? I don't. Let's talk about that. Okay. I don't have it here. So let's talk about what happened during that. Before it was during the last series that we found out they're changing the times. Okay. I'll give you my story.
Yeah.
So we're driving and listening on Sunday to the game. And we hear them talk about, oh, no, we weren't driving. We were home. I was home watching it. And Michael Kay was talking about it on Gotham Sports. And he says, yeah, they've switched it, the games. Okay, I'm telling the story wrong. We were in the car because I was driving and Beth was in the passenger seat yelling. So this must have been early. We were shopping. Something was going on Sunday. We were out. And I think we took Nate to work. Okay, so anyway, it was on the radio. I really should have wrote this down. It was on the radio, and they said that they moved it because of the cold weather that was going to be happening. Well, Beth first comment that she says right off the bat, those are a bunch of peas. You know what P word I'm talking about? PANZ. Pansies.
Now, you said what?
I said, she said, those are a bunch of peas. And I said, pansies. But she was thinking the other P word.
Kind of cut.
You're cutting out?
They cutting out.
That's weird because I can hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear
anyway, I do hear you, yeah. It was like you froze. You okay? Yeah, you're freezing. I'm perfectly fine. I'm moving.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Beth called both teams a bunch of pansies, but she was thinking the other P word. So got me thinking, this wouldn't happen if all the baseball teams had retractable roofs. I heard one person tell me today, well, you're playing baseball out in nature. It's what baseball's always been. That's all well and good. But in the business world, you're there to make money. By making money, you're having games played. To have every game played, you need to have games played. I don't understand the nonsense of in Minnesota, let's say, going from a dome that they needed, but it got old. They went to an open air stadium in the coldest of states. It doesn't make sense. Like you're playing baseball where to swing a bat or throw a ball in the cold, it's harder. It's not a football that you can just. It's a bigger ball. So I just that's what bothers me. I understand why they did it because they don't want these guys getting hurt, sick, or anything in between. But it's the old school, and I don't know if you go by the old school, but it's the old school Beth that that she has from her father. That we played when it was snowing and ice, and we played with sticks. And that's what. So I see both sides, when
these guys are making the money that they're making, you got to take in consideration that they got to play this game for a long time, despite what the weather is. I mean, they cancel games when it's thundering, so I'd say once it gets to a certain temperature, I feel like that the players shouldn't play.
And the thundering makes sense because where there's thunder, there's lightning. So nobody wants to get lightning, a lightning strike.
Exactly.
But
you hear that all you soccer players out there, no offense, but when it starts raining and the thunder and get out of the stadium.
Absolutely. All right, let's see. So unfortunately, we have to talk about all New York. And James and every Mets fan, my wife, are loving the fact that they've won every single home game they've played so far.
Shout out to the Mets for winning every.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to the Mets. They're playing they're doing it without Soto. Go figure. Yeah. Soto's not the number one guy on this team. He's
Mm-hmm.
He's not making as many errors as he had been, but he's not. Alonso is not Judge, and it's showing a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So
it is.
You know
he doesn't look like that 760 that they paid him right now.
No,
I'll tell you that.
No, he does not.
At all.
No. So this intrigued me. I mean, there's not too much with the Mets. They're just doing great. They're winning. They're winning close games. They're winning. You know, the one thing that scares me before I go to the next thing, the one thing that scares me with the Mets, and I think it's a credible thing. Edwin Diaz. He's got to tighten it up. Like he's getting himself into holes that he doesn't need to. You know, and that just I don't care personally. I mean, I honestly, when we play the Mets in May, I hope he throws us 3 hanging balls that we hit for game-winning home runs. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. But he's got to get that checked. You know,
Williams got to get it together for us. I mean, he's only got 1 loss, but
Williams has also got to get in a game. He's only got in 2, I think, and we lost 1. Right?
Weaver's been doing pretty good too, though.
Weaver has done.
I love when Weaver pitches. Like the velocity on every ball that he throws, especially that change jumping.
And I know we're off the Yankees, but can we get a little? I don't know. Did Ottavino piss somebody off in a past life? Like he gets DFA twice in 2 weeks. Like I saw that come up. They were talking about that yesterday, that it could happen, and it did. It's just like, wow. You know, maybe the Mets can pick him up. Like maybe they don't have a great staff. I mean, it couldn't hurt, but I don't know. Now, there are some things. Now, today might have changed a little, but NL West minus the Rockies can't lose. The Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, they can't lose. Like they're all over 700 in standings, if I'm correct. The Rockies aren't even that bad. I think they're like 500 team. Now Atlanta, did they win yet? Like they were 0-7 or 0-8 before. Like
I'm not sure, but I'm really disappointed in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a shock. Like that's the team. I expected that to be the team on first, Philly and Mets battling out for second. Now it's going to be Philly.
In Atlanta right now.
Yes, the White Sox, the Athletics, like teams you didn't think. Rockies, Athletics, and White Sox are all doing better than the Atlanta Braves. Are you kidding me?
Even the Cubs are doing pretty good too.
The Cubs, yeah. It's May's going to be interesting to talk about baseball. So. And then the last one. That's who we played. We played the Pirates in Pittsburgh. I like O'Neil Cruz. I drafted him. He gives you numbers. I watched him play this weekend. He's very hot and he's very cold. There is and I'll be very specific. The triple that Austin Wells got. Okay, that was insane. Like that, he just
was that. That was Ben Rice.
Oh, Ben Rice got the triple? I thought it was Austin Wells.
Yes.
Okay,
that was Ben Rice.
Okay, Ben Rice got the triple. Either way, O'Neil Cruz goes to that ball and just kind of loafs at it. Like I can't even describe how unathletic he was going to that ball, and then it went by him. You know, the man, he's a Jaguar. You know, especially with the hair, he looks like a Jaguar. He runs like a Jaguar, but he plays like a turtle. You know, it's I don't understand him, and he's on a team that they're not the best team. That they're Pittsburgh for the most part over many years has been a quadruple A team. That's what they've always been. One of these days I'll get to it. They haven't. So I didn't pull up any MLB. Let me see if I can pull up MLB games tonight. Let's see, MLB.com.
Diamondbacks been doing pretty good too, man.
Yeah.
I expected them to be good though.
Let's see. Let's go to schedule. No, not game day. You click the wrong thing, it goes right to a video, and I don't want that. Let's see schedule.
Let's see, we got the Cardinals
We got
and
St.
the Pirates
Louis
playing right now.
Yeah, St. Louis. I
top
got
of the
St. Louis
fourth.
and Pittsburgh. St. Louis at Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh
Yep.
can't score a run to save their life. Washington beating Dodgers. Oh, see, I got a buddy at work that like boasts about the
3-0.
Dodgers. Like everything's Dodgers. We're the you know what? We're the S. You know we can't be beat, but yet now Washington Nationals are beating them in the top of the third. The Angels are beating the Tampa Bay Rays, and that's early. And Philly is beating Atlanta. No surprise there. Everything else later on. Let's see. Scooble. I'll tell
Blue Jays suck.
Detroit.
Nothing.
Yep. Detroit Tigers. They got a heck of a catcher in that Dingler guy. He knows how to catch. He's pretty good. Dingler.
Yeah. I don't like him.
He caught Scooble. You don't like him? I respect the guy. Like he seems like a decent. Yeah, I like him as a player. I don't have to like him as a person. I like him as a player.
Though.
Oh, they're kicking our butt right now, and we're on Amazon tomorrow. Right. Everybody, any Yankee fan, we're on Amazon at 1:00. So if you're at work, put your Prime on. Let's see. You don't get Prime, or do you?
Oh yeah, I definitely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. I'm on this article, but it's not showing me. Tariq Scooble and Dylan Dingler on Tigers shutout win. Yeah. How many strikeouts? It doesn't say. It's not. Okay, StatCast. No, that's not helping me either. All right. You know what? Never mind.
Still got a whole lot of games to play tonight. Jeez.
That's all the MLB games.
You said what?
Today.
Getting
Why is Gotham Sports on?
choppy again.
Yeah, there we are. We're back. You there?
All right, there we go.
All right.
Yeah.
We got lost because I think MLB screwed us up.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. So there is something else I wanted to talk about. We went over this already. I did have that. I was farther down. So before I go into this, the Rule 5 draft picks are actually, they're talking about them on an email here. Now, this might be why some of these teams are doing very well. White Sox, right. Shane Smith, right-handed pitcher from the Brewers. He made the White Sox rotation and has given up 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings against the Twins in his first start. Not too bad for his first start. Liam Hicks, catcher for the Marlins, from the Tigers, made the Marlins team. He's 4 for 18, so he's not doing as good. And he's splitting duties with Nick Fortes. Angels, Garrett McDaniels, left-hander from the Dodgers to the Angels. He's made a couple of appearances. He surrendered 3 runs in 3 1/3. He might go back to the Dodgers. Athletics, Noah Murdoch, another one who might go back to his team, yielded 6 runs in 6 innings. Evan Reifert, yeah, that's not good. Returned to the Rays on March. Here's another. So here we go already. The Nationals returned this guy, Evan Reifert, who's on the development list. That's interesting. And Angel Bastardo, the Blue Jays got from the Red Sox, and he went on the 60-day IL after having Tommy John. I don't know what the thing is on that. If you get to go back or you get to stay. That's interesting. They got to stop this. Everybody's got. I'm looking at this now. Almost everybody's getting returned, or put. They were already sent. They were actually returned, and then that team put them on waivers. Like this Rule 5 drafts needs to stop. Like it doesn't help anybody.
That makes no sense.
No, it concludes 7 of last year's Rule 5 selections are in the majors, with 2 or more on the 6-day DL. Yeah, I don't like this 5. I did it like playing in the video game. Okay.
Yeah.
And you had to attempt to try to find people. And I could never find anybody I wanted because I'd have to keep them at that lower level compared to the team I already had. So
right.
Rule 5 draft, I think if we're going to get rid of anything, that would be one thing I think we get rid of. That this is something that's just got to go. All right. Yeah. So a couple more baseball. Yeah, definitely. A couple more baseball. Now, these couple reports are pretty interesting. That's why I wanted to talk about it. Brian Hawk. So Wells' new side hustle. He's a food influencer. Check this out. So becoming a food influencer was probably not Austin Wells' list on his list of goals, but the Yankee catcher flexed his versatility this past weekend, launching an Instagram account dedicating to reviewing breakfast burritos at wells.ranked.burritos. So if you're interested in that, and besides talking about this, there's also something that Michael K is doing that they put up on Instagram, and they talked about it, I believe, on Saturday or Sunday. It's called, I think it's K's Chicken Tendies, where he's talking about the chicken tenders. Yeah, so he's talking about the chicken tenders of all the places he goes. So what's funny, he had the chicken tenders on Friday, and it's a good thing they didn't start this till Saturday, because the Friday ones he said would have been a 3. It was that bad. But he gave the ones he had on Saturday an 8.1. So that if anybody who watches are interested in Instagram, or they're on Instagram, that's something to follow. I've been following at least Michael K one, but I probably will follow Austin Wells. I'm not into breakfast burritos, but he sounds like an interesting person. He really does. So what inspired him, it says, is that
I wasn't really into
what?
The
Instagram?
Breakfast burrito thing.
Oh, breakfast burritos.
Breakfast pizzas are pretty good though.
Really? Breakfast pizza?
I like the burrito.
I know cold pizza in the morning after
you ever come to New York State?
I've been there once. I was near Albany. I was north of Albany. I don't even remember the town I was in. I was married to my ex, but we didn't. I don't think I ate pizza back then up there. It was a very what kind of town am I? The town was closer to Canada than we were to New York City. We took a drive north on I think it's 80 or no 84.
Yep,
that one that goes up the line. Yeah, so we were up there for a while. We drove all the way to like the second to last exit and turned around. Like I didn't have my passport at the time. I would have loved to go to Canada though, but so it's summertime too, so that would have been cool. But that's my only time in New York State.
It was up about what town?
What's that? If we were north of Albany.
We were probably up there by Watertown. Watertown.
Yeah, Watertown. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yes, he made this first. Okay, so like Michael K, Austin Wells did this at PNC Park, so he's going to be doing it at all the parks he goes to as well. Well, that's interesting. And he's got some interesting pictures that he shows. So if you're a foodie, and I'm sure we got a couple foodies out there. Okay, and even in this, it talks about how Meredith Morakovitz, she launched the Instagram account for K Eats Tendies. It's K_eats_tendies. And the logo is Michael K looking like a chicken tender. So, you know what? I'll even show it. Let's see if I can get away with showing it.
That's fine.
Yeah, you got to see it.
I could see Michael K looking like
a. Let's show it. Let's see if I can show it.
There
you go.
Chicken tender.
Open your eyes. There you go. You see it? Right there.
Oh, there we go.
You got it?
See anything.
Crazy, right?
Got it. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Now I see it. Yeah. Wow. That's very detailed.
It is. It definitely is.
It's a very detailed chicken tender.
Yes, it is. All right. So the Mets have their own guy, Anthony DeComo. Now, I should have talked about this too. Vlad Guerrero did get his contract. He's going to stay a Blue Jay. Sorry, Mets. You know, that's kind of sad because he would have been great with
14 years.
14 years, $500 million agreement.
$500 million.
Yep. He'll be in Canada forever. Maybe that's what he wanted to be. You know, given the current state of affairs of the world, it's possible. Anyway, it says, consider this. Okay. In terms of dollars, his contract is 9 times higher than the $54 million contract that Pete Alonso signed with the Mets. That's crazy. So in Alonso's case, he entered a free agency coming off a down year, that's why the Mets didn't want. I remember that's why Mets fans didn't want him. I almost remember LeBruno saying
you wanted to remain a Blue Jay.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about Alonso. You know, remember Alonso? It was back and forth. So I remember LeBruno kind of saying,
"Yeah,
he was resigned to not wanting, Alonso." Beth wanted Alonso. Beth was like, she that was her guy. Like, and she was, to an extent, I agree with her because if you stick him with Lindor and then Soto, that's a pretty great team. And right now we've seen it showed. So we'll see. I mean, based on the contract, and look at it this way too. He's in New York. He's making money, and he does make money outside of playing baseball. So I don't think it's be too bad for Pete as long as he keeps hitting. So there's not too much else. He just keeps going on about the contracts of other people. See, DeComo gets pretty one-sided when it comes to money. I'm not big on that. It's more than money sometimes. All right. New NFL news and notes. Get into the NFL now. Getting closer to the NFL draft. Is Cam Ward to Tennessee a lock? What do you think? What do you think, Brandon?
What's going on? Keeps freezing.
So, what do you think? Cam Ward to Tennessee, is that a lock?
I didn't hear it.
Can you read?
Yeah, that's a lock.
You think it's a lock? Okay.
I think Cam's going to Tennessee. I don't think going to win.
Okay. So I'll keep it on this for now. Let's go into the back and forth you and LeBruno had today.
They keep going in and out.
It's going in. I don't know why. I have. It's perfect on my side.
1 minute I hear you, next minute I don't.
Yeah. I'll see. I want you to hear me for this one because I want to talk about what you and LeBruno went through today. You hear me? I think you need to reboot, dude.
Yeah.
You there?
I'm gonna have to do this on my phone.
I hear you.
I'm gonna have to. I gotta.
Let's see.
This is doing some crazy stuff right now.
Yeah, I can't tell your Wi-Fi or not. I don't know. Let's see. No, not. I don't want to remove you. I can mute you, but I don't want to remove you. Okay, Brandon's gone for a minute. So we'll just give him a minute to come back. Okay, hold on. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, you're added back. You hear me now?
Yeah, everything's fine. It's got to be my laptop.
Okay. So, let's talk about what you and LeBruno were going back and forth about today.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I do.
Let's share with the audience what you two were going. I saw this at work, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
So, Jim doesn't want anything to do with Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
And he thinks that he would rather have Carter or Hunter. I don't disagree with Carter or Hunter.
I'm good with that.
But if we take a quarterback, I would rather have Shedeur Sanders than Cam Ward.
Okay.
And coming from a quarterback's perspective, my reason being is Cam Ward had protection. Cam Ward had all types of weapons. Cam Ward played in the ACC.
Yeah.
Where they were and they were a number one team.
Yeah.
You know, so that with that production alone, that's why he had the time to showcase all his athleticism, throwing the ball and throwing on a run and all of that stuff, which I get. I understand. I'm not taking nothing away from him. Yeah. But Shedeur, you put Shedeur, just hypothetically speaking, remove Daniel Jones and put Shedeur Sanders behind that line of scrimmage, behind that offensive line. Okay. I still think he would be able to complete more passes more accurately, trying to figure out a way to maneuver through that offensive line when under pressure and duress than Cam Ward will at the NFL level. That's just my personal opinion, as I explained to Jim.
So I will say I don't completely disagree with Jim. Like, I think his size could hurt if our line sucks. You know,
will it though? Look at Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is what, 5'11"? He used to have to run for his life.
But a little bit less because that line got better. Right. So, but when he has a bad line, let's say a guy goes out and that one, he has to run. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but if the other intangibles are there, I'll come up with another hypothetical that I heard in someone's mock draft. I want to say yesterday or today, that if the Giants were to take Abdul or Travis at 3, because whoever goes at 2, and there's a theory that Shedeur is going to slip. The theory is he would not just slip to he'd be 4. He could either slip to 9 or he could slip to 18. And if he were to slip to 18, the theory is the Giants could come back in and try to trade for him. That's the theory. I don't know. I'd love to see that play out on that Thursday. Like, that would seriously maximize our coverage of that.
Right. I mean, it would.
I would like to see a little drama in our first episode of that. Like, that would be very cool. I don't want to. Oh, this is happening. Okay, we knew this was happening. Okay, we knew this was. I kind of want a little drama. I want to either get angry or be ecstatic. One or the other. That. I'm curious where Genty goes. I'm curious where
Scatterable,
yeah. I'm curious where he goes. Like, hell, I just heard who's the quarterback from Alabama? Milroe. He got an invite to New York. I hope, for that kid's sake, I hope he makes it in the first round. I don't think it. No, I don't. they're taking Shador if he's at 7. I don't.
Yeah.
If Shador is there, you take Shador. I wouldn't see. Let me see. This is a ranking from 2 weeks ago. I think we're 4-8. So this is 2 weeks ago. He's not in the top 25. Quarterback. Jackson Dart's ahead of him, and he's at 45. So if Jackson Dart's at 45, and he might go top 20. I don't see. Wow, he's not in the top 75.
Ooh.
So why Milroe? Why would you invite Milroe? He's not even in the top 75. Like I don't understand it. That's two rounds. He's not coming back for a second round.
Right. unless they're gonna get rid of Tommy Cutlets and stick Milroe back there.
Get him in the second? I don't know. Maybe. See, I'm not a big fan of Al.
If it's not Shador, stay away from quarterback period instead of later rounds.
Oh yeah, I agree. I get it. Like I said, if we can get Shador at 18 coming back in, that would be kind of good. You know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else pertinent in news? Not really.
It's definitely going to be interesting draft day because, I honestly, I don't know. I mean, if just hypothetically speaking, say Cam does go to Tennessee and Cleveland gets Carter, do we still skip Travis Hunter to get Shador?
No, I wouldn't. I'd get Travis. There's so much we could do with Travis. There's so much. In my opinion, there's so much we could do with Travis. And if
there's also so much we can do with a quarterback of Shador's calibers. But I mean, for God's sake, the kid was trained by Tom Brady.
True, but my comeback on that is he's the third quarterback that won't see the light of day for 2 years minimum. Right?
I mean, possibly not. If he comes in training camp and he outshines Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, they gotta give the keys to the kid.
I could see him outshining Russell. I don't see him outshining Jameis. Jameis has got a lot. Like Russell, for me, he's there for 1 year because he's experienced.
Insurance.
And Jameis is the insurance that actually is better, that can play better. And I still think at this moment, Jameis is the best number 2 quarterback in the league. Like, tell me a better one. Like, no, I don't think there's any other team that has a better one right now. Shador on the Jets would be a better one, probably.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, I don't know. For everything I see with the Jets, I think it's the Jets are, if they don't take Shador, they're taking some type of offensive tackle. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we won't know till we know, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's not too much football until the 24th. So, I mean, it's just really not much more to talk about NFL-wise. You know, there's NFL.com is just a bunch of mock drafts. So, it's almost pointless.
I agree.
All right, so let's get out of this NFL notes. A little NBA. The Knicks about to get Jalen back. I wrote that not knowing he did play about 15 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
And we did win. We was in spite of him because he didn't play that well. He played, but just not that well. So we're from what I can see, and I here's the NBA standings I couldn't find. They're in third place, 12 games back of Cleveland, but they're still 3 games ahead of the Indiana Pacers. Like, with how many games they got? 78, so they play 82. They got 4 games left. You know, they got to win 2 more, and that third game is locked. That they win 2, that number 3 spot is locked, which means they'll play the 6th seed, right? Detroit.
Yep.
So 3 plays 6, 5 will play 4, Indiana plays Milwaukee. That's an interesting series. Milwaukee, I think, should be better, but they've been hurt.
Yeah,
right?
but I think Damon Lillard is out.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Halliburton. That's why. Like he's become he's become the heel in my world now because he did. Well, you didn't see the WWE thing he did in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't. Gotcha.
Yeah. Jalen had to come in, and he had a chair and was about to hit Halliburton with the chair. It was hysterical. Like it wasn't.
I remember you saying something about that.
You knew it wasn't going to happen, but it was really awesome to watch. Now,
I gotta check that out.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great clip right there. So 7, 8, 9, 10 in the Eastern Conference is Orlando 7, Atlanta 8, Chicago 9, Miami 10. I've already talked to a Miami Heat fan, a friend of mine. He doesn't see them doing anything. So he thinks that I'm guessing the Miami Heat would lose to Orlando, and then in Atlanta and Chicago. That's a toss up, I think, right?
I mean, you got Trae Young in Atlanta. You got Collins in Atlanta. They got a pretty good squad, but
yeah,
in a series.
Well, it's not going to be a series, is it? Is it one game?
Oh, the play-in tournament. Correct.
Play-in. That's a play-in. So 7 plays 10.
Trae Young stuns somebody in a play-in every year. So
yeah,
you never know. And then the team that loses still plays again anyway. So
yeah, the team that loses, both teams lose, right? If both teams lose, or no, if 10 loses, what? So let's say 9 and 10 lose, then 7 and 8. So 7 and 8 are the winners, but 8 still has to play somebody, right?
Think whoever loses. All right, so it's 2 teams that play the last 2 seeds. Whoever wins that plays the other team and then whoever loses that plays the other.
Yeah, and that's what's confusing to me. I don't even. I'm sure I'll hear it down the road. Maybe we'll talk about it next week when it happens.
Yeah, it gets tricky.
Yeah. So, and then the teams that are out of it, no surprise: Washington, Charlotte, Philly. Philly's surprising. The 76ers are surprising to me. Only 23 wins this year. That's not good. Brooklyn Nets with 25, Toronto with 29. When you have Drake on your side, of course you're going to lose. So, but you freeze again, bro? You're on your phone. Oh boy, I think we froze again.
I got it. I'm still here.
Something going on in Syracuse?
I have no. Well, I was connected to my landline, and obviously, I guess that's not working. It must be my piece of crap laptop.
Gotcha. So I was saying that Philly is the one that surprises me, being in the bottom 5.
Well, Philly doesn't have Joel Embiid or Paul George. I think they're both hurt.
Jeez.
So they paid all that money to Paul George, or for him to sit on the bench as much as he does.
And who did the Nets trade to Philly? Who can't play, and he was the number 1 draft pick.
Ben Simmons.
Yes, he's not hurt, and he's playing. He doesn't do jack. Why is he still in the league?
Collecting a check.
He can collect a check.
Just like Anthony Cupo's youngest brother.
Oh, really?
Riding the bench, collecting the check. Never played in one game.
Wait, Antetokounmpo's brother's that bad?
He's got 2 brothers in the league. Neither one of them play.
You're kidding. So they're like the ball. They're like the balls.
Pretty much. Well, at least the balls play though.
Well, the youngest one's the best one, right?
Yeah, LaMelo, he's done for the year too. But Lonzo, I think Lonzo's done for the year too.
Good God, I don't get it.
Man.
See, that's what killed me with my basketball pool was a couple injuries, but they killed a lot of people. There's a lot of injury. There's a lot of injuries in basketball. I learned that from playing fantasy basketball.
Right.
I don't understand how. Like, I don't remember back in the 80s and 90s when I watched this that there were that many injuries, especially in a league where, and I'm watching this on Celtic City, in a league where they were just beating the crap out of each other. Like, where I'm at now, where it's the late '80s when they sort of. I kind of forgot this. Remember when Len Bias died?
Yep.
Okay. So I gotta research this. How in the world does a world champion Celtics team get the second pick in the draft? Do you remember? Because I have to look it up. I don't. Doesn't make sense to me.
Wasn't it? Was it a lottery or was it? I have no idea.
If it's a lottery, then you're the worst 3 or 4 whatever teams. Like, remember, that's how New York got Patrick Ewing.
If they did get the second pick in the draft, which they did, that means they probably traded for somebody in another team to get it.
But see that I don't understand how they kept letting the Celtics do this. Like that's how they retooled. They would get the top picks. Like,
yeah.
See, as a fan of another team, that would just bother the hell out of me. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. I tell you, the Celtic City it's an absolute great show to watch. If you're into basketball at all, like, and you're into the history of it, whether you could be any type of fan. Hell, they talk about the Supersonics. They talk about the Portland Trailblazers, the 78, 79 Trailblazers. It's truly an amazing, thing. The one thing I find funny what they left out, they're very Celtic centric in this, okay? And I get it, they can be. But
right.
They won in 72 or they won in 71. But I know in my history, the Knicks won in 73. They didn't talk about the Knicks winning in 73. That I found a little. I'm like, you kept that out. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, they tried to shut out a piece of history.
Yeah, they kept in that they beat the Knicks in 72, but they kept out that they lost to the Knicks in 73. But anyway, so getting back to
that's the Celtic thing to do.
So, okay, Western Conference. Now this is getting back to Denver, who's the 4th seed, 47 wins. Supposedly they've lost their last 4. So they were 47 and 28. So my guess they were probably in that 3 spot that the Lakers now have.
They were.
So that's probably part of the reason why he got fired. And maybe the GM as well. Who knows?
Yeah, but
can Denver
I can see if they were out of contention, but they're still
But can Denver, like the Knicks, very similar to the Knicks, can they beat the Lakers? Can they beat the Rockets? Can they beat the Thunder?
Not anymore.
Those are really good teams.
Not anymore. They can't.
Both of I figure the second round and on is going to be very 1, 2, 3, 4 type, games. Yeah. So I don't see any of the bottom teams doing that well. 5 and 6 are Clippers and Golden State. Golden State, I keep hearing about, like, because they have
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, because they have Butler. He's their cog that's going to grease the wheel to get them to the finals. But even if they get to the finals, I don't think that's enough to beat any of those 3 teams. Like, you're not beating the Thunder. You might go to 7 with the Rockets. The Lakers, if they flub a couple games. But
the Rockets just held Steph Curry to, I think, 2 for. I think he only had 10 points. 10 points.
Yeah. I mean, Houston can defend them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And the 7 through 10 teams: Minnesota, Memphis, Sacramento, and Dallas. Now, by looking at those 4, that's going to be better than the East. Because you figure Minnesota, they're weren't they a top 3 team? They were the number 1 team last year, weren't they?
Yep.
In the West, so they dropped to 7. So they're going to want to. Hell, they could actually remember they got 4 games left. From what I understood, and I saw this on SportsCenter this morning before I went to work. 4 through 8 can switch at any time. Actually, and even 3 can even go down to 6. That's how close everything is. So what I'm saying right now in a week could be absolutely changed. But so I mean, I can truly see Minnesota winning their next 4 that they got to play to try to do something. Any and all of these teams, if they win 4 games, they got 50 wins. So that's my thought on that. So I mean, we'll see. Next week we'll definitely see where everything lies. Next Sunday or next Monday, we'll know who's where on the
Definitely.
NBA.
Well, we got the Celtics playing the Knicks tonight, like you said, and then the Lakers are playing OKC right now. They just beat OKC a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
And OKC
is going to ride it out. They're
this is the problem. This is what everybody was saying, that OKC was so dominant and number one and everything and all of that, but come playoff time, it's a different animal. It's a different type of situation. Players are locked in. There's the game planning is more secretive, and you see a lot of stuff that you don't see in the regular season, especially towards the end of the season, leading into the playoffs.
Very true. Very true. So we'll see where it goes next week. I mean, I'm going to hold on to the standing sheet and see what it looks like next week to compare what's switched, and then the bottom teams. Is Phoenix actually still got a shot? Oh, they do. Phoenix is a
slim shot.
Phoenix is 11, but they have a shot. Wow.
Slim to none.
Utah's the worst team with 16 wins. Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen something that said that they were out of playoff. No, Portland's out of playoff contention.
Yeah, Portland's out because they have one more loss.
Right.
That's why. So if Phoenix loses one more game, they're done. That's what it is. If Phoenix loses one more game.
Yep.
Wow. So that's the NBA right there. Like I said, I'm holding on to this. That's an interesting one to look back to for next week. All right, NHL. So I know we don't talk about much NHL, but they're coming to an end too. Toronto Maple Leafs, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, 1, 2, 3. In the Eastern Conference, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th are Ottawa, Montreal, Detroit, Buffalo, and Boston. Oh wait, hold on. There's an Atlantic and I forget. There's 4 conferences in the NHL, not 2. So it's Toronto, Tampa Bay, Florida, and in the Metropolitan it's Washington. They will be in the playoffs. You were right there. They got 70. They got 77. Wait. Points. They got 107 points. They are the best team. At least in the Eastern Conference. In the West, they're the second. They're the second best. Okay, you're right. Washington's first. In the West, it's Winnipeg.
Okay.
Winnipeg Jets got 110 points. 53. What?
Are they new? Is this their first year?
No. Winnipeg's been around a very long time.
Winnipeg Jets. Why do they don't sound familiar? I have no idea why.
They've been around since the Hartford Whalers. Remember that team?
There goes my lack of hockey knowledge. Thank you for that.
You don't remember that Hartford? I mean, that was a local team.
But I grew up Rangers, and that was it.
Okay,
there was nothing else but Rangers. Gretzky. Rangers.
I don't know who the Hartford Whalers are, who they are now. That I'd love to hear who that team is. You know what? Who they could be? It could be the Nashville Predators. I think that's where they moved to. But I think the Rangers still have a shot. It's a slim shot, but they have a shot. They just gotta stop. They gotta stop losing. Like the Rangers, they got 79 points, and if they don't get any more points, they're done. Flat out done it. And
I thought they were going to win last night.
Yeah, and the Devils they keep winning, and I keep hearing Devils fans I'm not a Ranger fan, but I'm a Ranger supporter.
Right.
And I've never been a Devils fan, and anytime the Devils start doing better, it's kind of a gut. It's a gut check thing. It's just like ugh,
But you guys are never good.
Yeah,
especially better than us.
Oh, trust me, 1995 was not fun. We won in 94. We were so up in the air. And 95, they win? It's like, yeah. Straight down. Western Conference is Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche, Vegas Golden Knights, Los Angeles Kings. So I mean, and the new team who does not have a name, which I laugh at this one, the Utah Hockey Club.
Okay, there we go. That's the new team.
That's the new team, Utah Hockey Club. I don't know where they came from, but
probably where the Washington football team.
That's right. So the worst team in the league actually is the San Jose Sharks. They got only
last time the Sharks actually been good.
They were good. I want to say 5 years ago. They were good. They were playoff contenders. Same. The Kraken are bad this year, but they were. I think they were good for one of their first opening years. Ducks have been bad for a while. The Ducks they're more down than they are up. But we'll see. That's not the final NHL. There's 76 games played or 77. They play 82 or so. So they'll be. They got about a week left or so in their play.
Yeah.
All right. So Raw. Okay, I didn't change this. I should have. Raw is not in London. They were somewhere else last night. So Lyra Valkyria defeated Bailey for the women's intercontinental title. Okay. Oh, Bailey. Yeah. If you see the picture, she's got Bailey in a rose plant. No, that's not a rose plant. Something else. Where she's got her on her stomach and she's pulling her arms back.
Sounds painful.
It looks painful. Let's see.
It might feel good.
But not for a long period of time.
No.
El Grande Americano and the Creed brothers, whoever this guy is, I don't even know. Unless, oh God, I hope that's not actually what's his name. There's a guy who used to be in wrestling. I can't remember his name. He was with the Creeds, but now he's calling himself El Grande Americano. He thinks he's a luchador.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Defeated Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, and Dragon Lee, which means they probably cheated. Gunther's brutal attack on Jimmy Uso last week. Oh, that's right. So Gunther apparently attacked Jimmy Uso last week, and Jay's now made it clear. Jay's now made it clear he's not afraid anymore. So that makes it an interesting match for WrestleMania. The New Day defeated the War Raiders by disqualification, so they did not win the titles. Dumb.
DQ.
I'm not a fan of these guys. I really am not. Since they've gone bad, I'm not a fan. But yeah, so I think the War Raiders are going to be in WrestleMania. I thought I saw something. I'm going to go over that in a minute. Penta beat Dominic Mysterio, but then that got interrupted. The Judgment Day all came in, plus Braun Breaker was beating everybody up. So I think that's one of the fatal four ways it's going to happen.
Yeah.
3 days after CM Punk cashed in on a favor to demand that Paul Heyman be in his corner. So that did happen at SmackDown last week. CM Punk cashed in his favor and told everybody that his favor was that he wants Paul Heyman not in Roman's corner, but in CM Punk's corner. So that's the favor. So then Seth Rollins got in Heyman's face and drew ire of CM Punk. After Rollins stomped the Second City Saint in the final moments of the brawl, Rollins informed Heyman, "Now you owe me a favor." And I think the favor was because he didn't stomp him. Yeah. He did him a favor. So, right. And I'm not too upset I missed Raw. It is what it is. Like, and I know I see nobody's watching right now. And like I said yesterday, I was not feeling great. I was just out of it. But number two, it almost made more sense. I wish we talked about this earlier, and that was my fault.
No, it's okay.
I didn't want to talk national championship while it was going on.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought about that as I was watching it. I'm like,
yeah. Like
we didn't do the show tonight because the national championship is on.
See, I thought about it. I'm like, we should go on that the next day, talk about the championship. Not, that just from now on. Trust me, if there's something happens on a Monday, we'll discuss it beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a while, like I said, I wasn't feeling good. I went to pick up my stepkid at work, and then I did everything last night. I was able to do a lot of this stuff last night. Okay, so the matches haven't changed other than there have been a couple that have been added. Let's see if I can get it.
Like that triple threat match, right? With the women?
So, yeah. There we go. It's that I talked about this because Bianca Belair was the referee. So this finally came to fruition. Triple threat match to decide the women's championship. It's Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair.
You called it last week.
I did call that. So it's now official. Gunther and Jey Uso, Tiffany Stratton for the women's champion against Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
And Cody Rhodes, John Cena. Obviously, we knew that one. Intercontinental Championship to be decided in a turbulent fatal four-way match. So the Intercontinental Champion is Braun Breaker. The challengers are Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. So the fact that two people are technically teammates in this match, but from everything I see with Finn Balor, he's not going to have any qualms beating up Dominic if he has to.
Right.
So, okay. And I guess Rey Mysterio looks to defend the honor of Lucha Libre against El Grande Americano. Like I said, I know who it is. So, do you ever remember a wrestler, Chad Gable? I think that's who it is.
Gable sounds familiar.
Yeah. He's a shorter Kurt Angle type guy. That's who I think this guy is.
That's who the luchador is?
Well, no, a luchador is Rey Mysterio.
Oh, okay.
Anybody who like Rey Mysterio, like Dragon Lee, like Penta, like all other guys, they have that mask and they wear it in the ring.
Right.
And it used to be they wear it all the time. You never took a picture. It's gotten a little lackadaisical recently because there's been a lot of pictures of Rey Mysterio. So,
right.
And he looks very different. Like that mask makes him look more manly. I hate to say it like that, but it does. you look at him next to Dominic with his face, and I look at his wife, and I think you know the term. I think Ray outkicked his coverage. I mean, most men in real life outkick their coverage, but I think Ray really did outkick his wife is beautiful. Like,
right.
And she was very accepting of him at obviously a very young age. I mean, she was with him when he started this way back when he was 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
I think he met her. I want to say he was 15. So he was already 4 years into this. And she stayed. So, all right. The triple threat.
Please, Ray, put the mask back on.
So the triple threat we talked about. The last match, and this will probably be a first match, but it's still a good one. It's a championship match also. The United States champion, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Now, Fatu, this could be the championship he wins to start his career because he's that good.
Nice.
So, I mean, we'll see. My wife is back home. Anyway. So, those are all the matches. That's the matches that I had. Okay. So, that's every match that they have going on right now. We got 2 weeks until it. So, yeah, next week, I don't know about you. If you want to make your picks, I think we can make picks for this. See, yeah, I mean it's a good amount of matches, so I think we could definitely make our picks for this.
I'm kind of gaining enough knowledge to be able to make some picks. So.
Okay, cool, that works. Okay, so we're getting near the end. I didn't have too much. There's not too much this week, but this happened, and I might have talked about this here or there. Did you ever watch 1923 or 1883 or
Yellowstone? But
Yellowstone.
I didn't watch.
So you've seen those. So you've seen a season or so of Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So never the prequel stuff. Okay.
Right.
So if nobody's ever, if you can, do you have Paramount?
Yeah.
Okay. If you ever get the time, start with 1883. Start with the beginning. It's 9 or 10 episodes. Worthwhile. Absolutely worthwhile. It's a very beginning of what that family is. You know, the Duttons.
Okay.
And then 1923, they had season 1, and last year or 2 years ago, and this season they just finished their 7th episode was on Sunday. So 6 episodes before that, and the 7th one, they have. I'm not going to give too much away, but if you've watched a little bit of this show, the Dutton, the youngest Dutton that's still alive, okay, he's coming home from Africa. He's been coming home since episode 1. Now, obviously, 1923, it's not like they can fly, so they got to take a ship across the ocean. It's much ado about everything.
Season 1, is he riding a turtle?
Yeah, no, there was a lot of things that happened. Oh my God, it's so much to talk about. Like, but we knew he got married in the end of season 1 episode or beginning of season 2. And the wife that he married got pregnant. Now, what I'll say also is they also got separated. So he got thrown off the boat because he was doing something. He fought somebody or he killed somebody, and she ended up going to New York by herself. So, yeah, her story from that boat to where she ends up in Montana is one of the more intriguing stories you'll ever watch. Like, and it's heartbreaking most of the time. Like it made me think, like, this was 1923. This is what New York was in 1923. Like, it's an amazing thing that streets that I have walked down in my life, that this is what could have happened. Like, I know it's fantasy, but it's somewhat reality. You know, it's a crazy thing. It really is. So, like, I really recommend it. And the last episode on Sunday was a 2-hour event. And it was definitely the conclusion of this story. And what I'll say, what my feeling is of the conclusion is that I wish they can continue or add on at another era of time. You know, like a 1973 or something like that, so we can see. Because
I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with something along the lines.
I don't know. It
would be cool if they do it 23, then 33, 43 to see how it evolved over the years.
Well, the very end of it, they kind of skip. They go to Spencer's death. That's the nephew. Okay, they go to his death. I'm giving that away. That's my spoiler. The very end is they go to Spencer's death. That he goes to his wife's cemetery plot, lays there and dies, and that's in 1963.
Okay.
So
yeah, they should just pick it up from there.
Maybe I don't know, like something like. I want to know when Harrison Ford died. I want to know when Helen Mirren died. You know, those are the two of the main characters. How did they die? For everything they went through, did they actually die natural? You know, I mean,
good point.
Helen Mirren in this role, she is, and I'll quote my stepson, she's a badass. You know, absolute badass. Like that's you can't say anything. And then Harrison Ford in the role he's playing. You know, there's a shootout. I'm not going to say what happens or how that happens, but there's a shootout where he's in it. Ends up he's bleeding. but it's an open scar that opened up during the fight. They think he got shot because doctors are trying to find the bullet. He curses at the doctor. He said, "There's no G damn bullet."
Yeah,
it's
that's Harrison for you though. Harrison's always gonna.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been a great actor. So
he played the Patriarch Dutton very well. I loved it. I absolutely recommend this show. All right, so I'm going to do it all. Promotion. I might get. You know what? I meant to tell you this to you before. If you want to promote your kids, please do. I love promoting things. So you want to promote your kids? Yeah. So I think Aiden's going to be on Saturday. Now I don't know, but I'm putting this out there. If people are near the Bloomsburg area, you want to go see. They're doing that every weekend. I think actually the 12th show might actually be sold out, from what I was told. So, but this is a very good show. If you want to go see it, go for it. My son might be in it. He might not. I don't know. We will see. I found out he's an understudy, so we'll see if he makes it in or not.
Ooh.
Yeah. So my other son. Yeah, exactly. So my other son, Hunter, is in his third year of playing league baseball. He scrimmaged last week, and I'm very proud of this. I was watching this when my wife was buying her car. So he scrimmaged playing right field, left field, and third base. Got an assist from left field, threw a guy out at home, threw to the pitcher threw home. The guy got a triple, but he overran the third base. He got a single out of 2 at bats, and he walked twice with the bases loaded. So he got 2 RBIs. So
yeah.
So he starts play on Thursday this season. He's on Dunn Insurance. If you have now, I don't. You might have it because you have kids in sports. I don't know. Other people who have kids in sports, I've been told that this has been around for a while. Game Changer app. If you have the Game Changer app and you want to watch, just let me know. I'll invite you by email. So
okay.
Yeah. So if you got you or anybody else has the game you want to see, my son is they have the names prevalent. It's very cool that you could actually see and pay attention to as it's going along.
Okay, so, that's cool.
And one of these days, maybe that they get video, they'll actually show video of these things.
Yeah, my daughter just started softball tryouts yesterday.
Very cool. So if they do that too, that's cool.
Yeah,
I wonder.
See what I taught her was 50% of the sport is contact.
Yes. Yes.
So I started pitching her the ball a little bit here and there, not too much, probably like 2 or 3 pitches because my back is messed up. But
yeah, see with baseball,
she was hitting them.
Good, very good. With baseball with Hunter, and because I'm so far away, and I started this early, so they're 10 now. I started this when they were 4 or 5, and Aiden was a little resistant, but he gradually came along. Well, Hunter, I taught him how to throw. And we did that for years. I wasn't hitting. I didn't want him pitching. I just want him to throw the ball and catch the ball. That's paid off. And so I figured the hitting will come, the fielding will come, because you'll do it with your coach. Will be more effective there. But that's the hitting is a hard one, hardest one for him right now. But I think if he keeps going with it, he'll get it. But,
definitely.
So I'm definitely proud of both of my kids doing this. I was hoping Aiden gets in his and Hunter gets in, starts playing his baseball. He's got 11 games scheduled or 12 games scheduled this year, starting this Thursday. So, whew, yeah,
wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. All right. So, essentially, the next episode will be next Monday at 7 p.m. Unless something comes up, but that we'll see. There's no games or anything like that coming up. So, but yeah, that as long as I'm able to do it too.
Right. Health is wealth.
Yeah, health is wealth. Exactly. All right. This was quick, good. An hour and a half, not bad. I don't mind doing an hour and a half on a week.
I don't even care. I just paid attention to it as soon as you said something. I'm like, geez, already?
Yep. It wasn't a lot to talk about. So
yeah. Plus, I had a little bit of technical difficulties with the laptop, so I got to get that situated before next week.
Yep. Hopefully, you all heard me. So we at least someone was actually talking if you were out, So I tried to talk. Definitely get that situated before the 24th, because that's when we'll be on at 8:00, and I'll have that up next week.
It's weird because I used it last week and there was no
you were fine. You were fine, exactly. But remember, the 24th is our big draft day special. We're going from 8:00. There's no time that we're ending because we don't. It really depends on how the draft goes.
Right.
So, and I don't know about you, but I don't have to work the next day. So I could go on I could probably go on till midnight if I had to. So,
get your popcorn ready. Make sure you got the waters and all the.
Well, if I have the waters, I might have to step away for a minute or two.
And that's okay. It's going to be a long night.
That's true. We could do bathroom breaks. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next episode will be April 13th.
Jeez.
What's that?
The draft is coming fast.
Yes, it is. Thank God. We only so much else other things we could talk about. So
right.
We needed to talk and see. I'm actually already running out of my drink. So all right. So we are done.
I come prepared.
Yeah, you come prepared. Yeah, I did not. Anyway, so next week we will see what we talk about next week. On that note, Brandon, it was a good one.
Brando Frost, see you, Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz is out. We're all out. See you next week.
Peace.